Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the whole flock of Israel, the Hebrew Israelites, your so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. Gotta give all praises honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. The Most High, the Heavenly Father, his Hebrew name is Yahweh. Not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not God, not Elohim, not Most High, not Lord, not Yah, not Jah, not Ahai, not Allah, not Abba. It's Yahweh, and his only begotten Son name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shah. Not Yahshua, not Yeshua, not Jesus Christos, not Jesus Christ, not Serapis Christos, not Yeshaya, not Yehoshua. It's Yahweh Shah. So we got to give all praise honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rekah, Kodash. The honor to the apostles and other bishops and others, great millstone who rule well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, whether accepted or not. And a sincere salutation to all the Akim pushing this truth and believing this truth with the four winds of the earth, the entire world, sharing light to the hope for the elect. Shalom to the Abba who are listening, learning. You few sisters who are listening, learning. Coming into another lesson of truth, faith, faith, and edification, another day of edification, Lord willing, she edifying. So I titled this lesson, if blacks wasn't slaves, what would Hebrew Israelites have to talk about? Now, this is a comment or statement that was sent to me, and this is a comment or a statement that will come from an average slow-bellied two-third Jake in the world or an Edomite. If blacks wasn't slaves, what would Hebrew Israelites have to talk about? And my response was, there are many things to talk about in the scriptures other than, and it wasn't just blacks, it was so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians that went into slavery. And the first slaves that was transported on ships was the Northern Kingdom. Gad, Reuben, Issachar. The Northern Kingdom was the first slaves, the first transported on slave ships, tight packed. So again, if Israelites wasn't slaves, what would Hebrew Israelites have to talk about? There's a lot. So I just got a list of things outside of slavery. Now I was going to do a check, which I meant to do before the lesson. How many times does the Bible mention captivity? I meant to do that before the lesson. So just a list, couple precepts, just some. The message was sent to me and said, somebody said, what would blacks, if somebody said if blacks wasn't, no, yeah, it said, if blacks wasn't slaves, what would Hebrew Israelites have to talk about? The sin that we committed against the Lord, the reason why we don't have no sovereignty, the reason why we don't have a homeland to call our own, the reason our men are killing each other, the reason our women are harlots in the cities. There's many things to talk about other than slavery. So whoever thought about this, this is the average mind this is the average thought of a dumb two-thirds so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, West Indian, or Haitian in the world, or Edomite. Most likely, this is a statement from an Edomite. Let me go to Blue Letter real quick. Let me see. I want to type this in real quick. Bear with me here. Now, the word captivity comes up 119 times. 119 verses in the KJV. 119 times the word captivity. They got Deuteronomy 28 and 41. Thou shalt begat sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, but they shall go into captivity. Deuteronomy 30 and 3, which I love to read Deuteronomy 31 through 6. That then the Lord thy God will turn thy captivity. Judges 5 and 12. Judges 18. Man, listen. Ezra chapter 1, Ezra chapter 2, Ezra chapter 3, Ezra chapter 4, Ezra 6, all over the Bible, man. Nehemiah, Esther, Job, Psalms. 119 times the word captivity is in the scriptures. So for some dummy to say if blacks wasn't slaves, what would Hebrew Israelites have to talk about? The sin that we committed against the Lord, not having sovereignty, not having a homeland, our men killing each other, our women being harlots in the city. There's many things to talk about other than being in captivity, man. Now, why, and who crucified the Messiah? Why would they do it? And who did it? That's another thing to talk about. Here's another one. If God loved everybody, like Christianity say, if the Most High, the Heavenly Father Yahweh, loved every people, all 18 nations, why would he let the so-called white man put Negroes in slavery? If we're going to use these dumb, lame terms, like it was just Negroes that went into captivity, if the Lord, the God of the Bible, loved everybody, why would he let the so-called white man put Negroes in captivity? Don't worry, I'll wait. Why would the Lord do that if he loved everybody? There are many things, I'm making points about other things to talk about, whoever came up with this, than slavery. There are many things to talk about. Here's another one. If you haven't made it out the ghetto, out the favela or the barrio, which Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians have been scattered to, if you ain't made out the ghetto, the hood, the favela, or the barrio, you are nothing. You are worthless. That's another topic. So what are they talking about? There's many things to talk about. Oh, and if you ain't make it, according to the world's standard, according to the so-called white man, if you ain't make it at the ghetto, you garbage. You worthless. You ain't put forth an effort hard enough. Cause you see those that made it. You see your Mike Tysons and your Michael Jacksons and your Michael Jordans. See how they did good for themselves. They applied their mind to the system. They made it out. If you don't do that, you're worthless. You're garbage. According to the world, according to the standards of the so-called white man, there are many topics to talk about. And that's one of the scriptures I got. Shalom to all the argument walk tuning in. Y'all about Shema Shah Barakatham. Our men killing each other. Our women are harlots in the city. There's plenty of topics. Why women commit abortion? Why that? And why is there a bunch of rainbow sliders? You know who I'm talking about. The LGBTQP. Why is that happening? But you got some slow-bellied two-third nigga or some dumb Edomite. If blacks wasn't slaves, what would Hebrew Israelites have to talk about? A lot. A lot. We are the smartest people on the planet. We have the royal DNA of the Heavenly Father through his only begotten Son, Yahushua. A royal line. Why are we on the bottom? When Jeremiah 51:19 says, Jacob, which is our forefather, is the form of all things. Who made the cotton gin? Who made the what's it called? This electric light for the games, PlayStation and Nintendos and so forth. Who came up with the cotton gin? If you don't know what it is, go look it up. Who came up with all these inventions? The stoplight. It was Jake. Because Jeremiah 51:19 say Israel is the form of all things. There's other things to talk about than captivity. But guess what? The Lord said, because we were disobedient to him and committed iniquities, which is sin on top of sin, therefore he put us in captivity. You can't go through these scriptures. 119 times the Bible mentions captivity. And guess what? Each and every one of those captivities was of so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians from Egypt to America. Egypt captivity, Assyrian captivity, Babylonian captivity, the Roman captivity, the Greek captivity, the American captivity. From Egypt to now. So it got to be some slow-bellied two-third nigga or some dumb Edomite that'll make a statement like that, man. Nah, let me get this. And I ain't gonna make this too long, man. It says it was sent to me. So I said, okay, let's make some points. There's many things we can talk about, man. Why is the so-called white man face on the dollar? Why do the so-called white man control all the resources, but his own peoples is starving? Why is it a homelessness of white peoples in America? Huh? That's a topic. Don't worry, I'll wait. Tell me why. How is it possible? How? I want to know how is it possible that there are homeless white peoples in America when the American empire is controlled by the so-called white man? How are he letting his own people be homeless? Every weekend going to camp. The past weekend, last Saturday, I was at the light. I always stop at this Wawa and use the bathroom right before I go to the camp, pull up to the camp. At the light, there's a homeless guy, an Edomite. Every time the light stop, every time the light turn red, this is what they do on all sides of the light. They start walking down between the cars with a sign, looking for somebody to give them $1, 2, or 5, or whatever it is, change, whatever, right? Why? And this is every time, not sometime, not every now and then, every freaking time. Why is it that it's an Edomite next to me at the light, and they see a Edomite walking up to their window, asking them can they spare some change, and they don't give it to them? Tell me why. Don't worry, I'll wait. Why? Why? How is it possible that there are homeless white people that walking up to your car door or passing your window saying with a sign saying hungry, help, or you got something to be straight frank and say, I'm trying to get a bill. You got some change? But it's Edomites at the light and they don't roll down the window and give them no dollar. They don't give them a 5 or a 10 and no change. Why not? That's your people. Why not? There's many other things to be talking about. So whoever came up with this, why the hell are your people starving? Why are you on the bottom? You Edomites, the ones that you see every day in the grocery store. Why are they shopping with you? You'll never see the elite shopping with you. You'll never see them shopping anywhere. I'm talking about them that got the bag. You ain't gonna see you ain't gonna pull up and see the original Hot Boy BG in the Walmart or a Publix or a Costco's or a BJ's, huh? Or a Sam's Club. You ain't finna pull up and see Warren Buffett at the grocery store. Why not? Because they still got generational wealth and white privilege. Well, why not? Why does not the average so-called white person have it? I'm listening to a Edomite at the plantation, a female, old, who shouldn't be working, talk about she need to get another job. For what? She already in her 60s. What you gonna do? Why, when the veterans, I'm talking about the Edomite veterans, come back from fighting the war, and you pull up and see them working in a grocery store. They got them in the hot sun grabbing carts. Why? Because the so-called white man's empire is falling. There's many things to talk about. Why is our people destroyed out here because of the music? The vibrations from the music because the so-called white man, the small hats. Oh, why is your food is full of chemtrails? Why are we eating GMO foods? These slow belly niggas talking about if blacks wasn't slaves, what would the Hebrew Israelites have to talk about? Everything, you dumb niggas, you dumb Edomites, everything. Why we eating? Why we eating? Why is there a plum cherry? Why does watermelon don't have no seeds in them? Why is the water? Why the hell do water got baking soda in it and fluoride in your toothpaste? Don't worry, I'll wait. I can bring up at least 100 to 200 topics right now, man. What are you talking about? Why are women harlots? Why are they getting abortions? Why are they killing themselves? Why is there chemtrails in the air? Why is we being taxed? The elites don't get taxed, huh? We waiting. Somebody come on the comment board that's a scoffer and tell us why. It wasn't blacks that was put in captivity. It was so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. The 12 tribes of Israel, Hebrew Israelites. There's many topics we can talk about. Slavery was a result of us sinning against the Lord. This is Judges 2 and 14. And the anger of Yahweh was hot against Israel, and he delivered them into the hands of the spoilers that spoiled them. So who delivered us? In the anger of Yahweh, Judges 2 and 14, and the anger of Yahweh was hot against Israel, and he delivered them into the hand of the spoilers that spoiled them, and he sold them into the hands of their enemies round about, so that they could not any longer stand before their enemies. This is Isaiah 42 and 22. For all you slow-bellied dummies, listen up. Isaiah 42 and 22. It was the Lord that gave us in the hand of our enemies, that put us in captivity. Isaiah 42 and 22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. Didn't it say spoiled in Judges 2 and 14? The Lord gave us to the spoilers. They are all of them, who all 12 tribes, snared in holes, and they are hid, well, Lord, in prison houses. Who control the prison houses? Don't worry, I'll wait. The so-called white man. And they are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey, and none delivereth, for a spoil, and none shall restore. Who among you will give ear to this? Who will hearken and hear for the time to come? Isaiah 42 and 24. Who gave Jacob for a spoil? I just read it to you in Judges 2 and 14. Who gave Jacob for a spoil and Israel to the robbers? Did not the Lord? He against whom we have sinned. For they would not walk in his ways, neither were they obedient unto his law. Therefore have he poured upon him the fury of his anger. He poured on us, the 12 tribes of Israel, the fury of his anger and the strength of battle. And they have set him on fire round about. We had no way to escape. That's what that means. If a fire been set before you round about, you can't escape this judgment. That's what it's saying. And it had set him on fire round about. We can't escape the judgments. That's Revelation 22. We can't escape the judgment until Yahweh shall return. Yet he knew not who? Jake. And it burned him, yet he laid it not to heart. See? Also, on the comment board, the brother put up Baruch, because I read Judges 2 and 14. So let's read this. This is from Shapar 12 Ba Shalom, Yahba Shemam Shabrakathum, to all the Akim Walk tuning in. Baruch 4, verse 6 and 7. Ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because ye moved God to wrath, you were delivered unto the enemies, For ye provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils and not to God. See it? Same thing is said in Baruch, and same thing is said in Jeremiah and Judges 2, man. Let's get this. Ezekiel. And I just got a few precepts, man. It show you how much the world know, man. This is Ezekiel 39 and 21. They gotta be a comment from a slow-bellied nigga, man. But I'm sure that's something Esau would say too. But there's a lot of Edomites. A lot of Edomites over the last 5 years that's been doing videos talking about, yeah, these are the people of the Lord, and we gotta pay for what we did to them, da 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 da. Listen, this comment, if blacks were never slaves, what would Hebrew Israelite have to talk about? There gotta be some slow belly nigga statement. It gotta be. Ezekiel 39:21. And I will set my glory among the heathen, and all the heathen shall see my judgment that I have executed, and my hand that I have laid upon them. Upon who? The heathen. So the house of Israel should know that I am Yahweh, their God, from that day and forward. And the heathen shall know that the house of Israel went well into captivity for their iniquity, not because of the so-called white man had more power than we did, because he was smarter than us, because we feel some man and he's everything that he can be. No. And the heathen shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity, because they trespassed against me. Therefore, hid I my face from them and gave them what? A third time, Judges 2 and 14, Baruch 4, 6, and 7, and gave them into the hand of their enemies. So fell they all by the sword, according to their uncleanness and according to their transgressions have I done it unto them, have I done unto them, and hid my face from them. Huh? Verse 25. You see it? Israel restored. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh power. Now will I bring again, what, Lord? The captivity of Jacob, and have mercy upon the whole house of Israel, all 12 tribes, and will be jealous for my holy name. To go captivity again, it's in the Bible 119 times, you slow-bellied niggas, or you dumb Edomites. This is Jeremiah 30. We're going to start at 11. Why is there guns in our neighborhoods? Huh? There's another topic. Why is there guns in the neighborhood? Why is there abortion clinics all over the city? They ain't in the Edomite areas. They ain't in where the so-called white people stay at. Why is there Chinese shops? Huh? On everywhere you look at. Why is there a nail shop? Why is there fake Chinese food? Why you going up? Why is there dog and cat meat being sold to you legally? Huh? Because of the so-called white man. How about that? That's the biggest topic. The so-called white man. That's a title. Because of the so-called white man. That's a title. Because of the so-called white man, that's why all these things exist. Yeah, guns in the neighborhood. Why you get to go and pull up to a 7-Eleven or one of your local Circle K's and get you a fruit drink? Huh? Why you can go get you a strawberry Fanta? Because of the so-called white man. Huh? Why is there Fago, peach Fago, and red pop? Why you can go get you a Dr. Pepper or a vanilla Coke, right? Or a wild cherry Coke? Why? Because of the so-called white man. Yeah. because of the so-called white man. That's a title. I might have to jump on that, Lord willing. Because of the so-called white man, why the earth is out of course. And to tell you in Psalms 82, this is Jeremiah 13:11. For I am with thee, saith Yahweh, to save thee, though I make a full end of all the nations, which I have scattered thee, whether I have scattered thee. So Lord gonna destroy these heathen nations. Yet will I not make a full end of thee, but I will correct thee in measure, and will not leave thee altogether unpunished. For thus saith the Lord, thy bruise is incurable, and thy wound is grievous. There is none to plead thy cause, that thou mayest be bound up. Thou hast no healing medicines. And they tell you that Lamentation 4 and 17. We have watched for a nation that could not save us, man. All thy lovers have forgotten thee. They seek thee not. For I have wounded thee with the wound of an enemy, with the chastisement of a cruel one, for the multitude of thine iniquity, because thy sins were increased. Why criest thou for thine iniquity? For Salaki, why criest thou for thine affliction? And to tell you in Lamentation 3 that a man have no room to complain for his own sin, man. Why criest thou for thine affliction? Thy sorrow is incurable for the multitude of thine iniquity, because thy sins were increased. I, who Yahweh, have done these things unto thee. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them shall go into captivity. See, now it's y'all turn to go into captivity. And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil. I read Judges 2 and 14. The Lord said he gave us into the hand of the spoilers that spoiled us. So what, Lord? And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. For I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith Yahweh, because they call thee an outcast. That's what the heathen nations call the 12 tribes of Israel, outcast, saying, this is Zion, who no man seeketh after. See? Lamentation 4 and 17. Because the Lord said it in Isaiah that we shall be redeemed. We shall be redeemed without money. What's that mean? Yahweh Shai, the blood of the covenant, man. The remnant will be redeemed without money. Yahweh Shai got to come and get you, man. That's why I say in Deuteronomy 28 and 68, you shall be sold unto your enemy for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Nobody can buy us with gold and silver and bitcoins. Nobody can purchase us. Because what it said in 2 Corinthians, 1 Corinthians 6 and 19, we was bought with a price. Yeah. 1 Corinthians 6, 19 and 20, we was bought with a price. Therefore, nobody can redeem us. So in Lamentation 4 and 17, nobody coming for you. It say, verse Jeremiah 30 and 18, thus saith Yahweh, behold, I will bring again what? Here it is again, the captivity of Jacob's tent. Now here it is, third and fourth time, captivity. Out of the 119, I just read 4 of them to you. And have mercy on his dwelling places. And the city, what city? Jerusalem, Israel, shall be builded upon her own heap. What that mean? That mean Israel gonna get destroyed, man. That's what that mean. And the palace shall remain after the manner thereof. And out of them, out of who? Out of Israel shall what, Lord? Shall proceed thanksgiving and the voice of them that make merry. And what? And I will multiply them, and they shall not be few. I will also glorify them, and there shall not, and they shall not be small. Hold on, there's more. Their children also shall be as aforetime. What's that mean? Before we went off, before we sinned, before we committed iniquity against the Lord. Listen, and their congregation shall be established before me, and I will punish what? All that oppress them. Hold on. That's another word for captivity. Who oppressed us? The so-called white man. Isaiah 47:6, it said, what? Thou hast very heavenly laid thy yoke upon the ancient. Thou didst show them no mercy. Isaiah 47:6, go read it. Who put yokes down on our neck? Hold on. Let's read that. We're going to come back. So whether you scoffing or you serious, whoever you are, guess what? Edomites and all the other 16 heathen nations going in captivity under the 12 tribes of Israel and their big brother, their Messiah, Yahweh Shai. Isaiah 47:6. The Lord said, I was wroth with my people. I read Judges 2:14. The Lord said he was hot with Israel. I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy upon the ancient. Who is the ancient? The 12 tribes of Israel. Israel, man. Upon the ancient has thy very heavenly laid thy yoke. What is your yoke? Let's see what a yoke is. Who put the yoke on our neck? The so-called white man. So you can't get out of this, you bastards. Here's the word yoke. H5923. What did it say? A yoke as imposed on the neck, literally or figuratively, because we were spiritually, mentally, and emotionally destroyed through the yoke of the so-called white man, which is his philosophies, his religion, and the real yoke that was on our neck in slavery. Yeah, remember from 1492, from about 1500s. Let's start from the 1500s to 1863, you bastards. Yeah, from 1500 to 1863, you Edomites, you had a yoke on our neck. Yeah, how about that? Jeremiah 30:20. Their children also shall be as aforetime, and their congregation shall be established before me, and I will punish all that oppress them. Who oppressed us? The so-called white man. Huh? Yeah. Guess what? And their nobles shall be of themselves. What? And their nobles shall be of themselves, because it's going to be Israel on Israel. No heathens. And guess what? And their governor. Who is the governor? Who is the governor? Uh, and their nobles shall be of themselves, and their governor shall proceed from the midst of them. Because the tell you was that Deuteronomy 18. If you vote for somebody, it's supposed to be of your own fellow brethren. We weren't supposed to be voting for DeSantis and Obama, which is a Hamite, doodoo eating Hamite, a dung eating Hamite. We weren't supposed to be voting for Trump and nobody else, man. And their nobles shall be of themselves. Who the nobles? The remnant of Israel, the 144,000. And their governor. Who is the governor? Shall proceed from the midst of them, and I will cause him to draw near. Who? And he shall approach unto me, for who it is that engageth his heart to approach unto me, saith Yahweh. And ye shall be my people, and I will be your power. Yeah, man. Anyway, man, I just had to make some points on this. It was sent to me. So, and it said, and thy governor shall be of thee, man, and the nobles shall be of them, man. Let's read again. I got a precept. Let me get it. Israel shall dwell alone, man. That's in Isaiah 32:18. Israel shall dwell alone, man. This is again Jeremiah 30:21. And their nobles shall be of themselves, Israel, and their governor shall proceed from the midst of them, Israel, and I will cause him to draw near, and he shall approach unto me. For who is this that engageth his heart to approach unto me, saith Yahweh? Now, because it said to put on the make, it said their nobles shall build themselves, and their governor shall proceed from the midst of them. It's going to be an Israelite. This is Amos 2:9. And it reads, Yet destroy I the Amorite before them, whose height was like the height of the cedars, and he was strong as the oaks. Yet I destroy his fruit from above, and his roots from beneath. Also I brought you from the land of Egypt, you 12 tribes of Israel. 430 years we served in Egypt. And if this don't make no sense to you, that the 12 tribes of Israel served 430 years in Egypt, and we've been serving without slavery all the days of our life, man. Also, I brought you up from the land of Egypt and led you 40 years through the wilderness to possess the land of the Amorite. And what did the Lord do? And I raised up of your sons for prophets and of your young men for Nazarites. Is it not even thus, O ye children of Israel? This word children means sons of Israel, saith Yahweh. Let me show it to you. Because this ain't talking to no women. Let's get this word right here. Let's get this. What does it say? O ye children of Israel. The word is bun. You see it? Bun. B-A-N. They got an E on it. Ain't no E's in Hebrew. Son, grandson, son. You see it? A son. Yeah. That's the word children mean when you read it. Anytime you see children of Israel, it means sons of Israel. Because the Lord dealt with the men and the men dealt with the women. So anyway, there's many topics we could talk about. We don't got no sovereignty. We don't got no homeland. Our men are killing each other in the streets daily. Our women are harlots in the city. The so-called white man have put abortion clinics all over. There's chemtrails in the food. We eating GMO food with chemtrails in it. The water's contaminated, fluoride, and why is it baking soda in the damn water, man? It's called sodium bicarbonate. That's baking soda. Look on your bottled water. If it says sodium bicarbonate, that is damn baking soda, man. Why is it baking soda in our water? Why is it fluoride in your toothpaste? Why is it fluoride in your water? Why are you bathing in corroded pipes and from water coming through corroded pipes, man? Because of the so-called white man. So why you trying to be funny talk about if blacks went in captivity, what would the Hebrew Israelites have to talk about? Everything. Everything, man. Because guess what? Through Yahweh Shema Shah, everything established one from another. Our captivity came from disobedience, man. But we don't got to talk about captivity. We can talk about how the so-called white man going into captivity when the Messiah returned. How about that? How about that? Let's read it. Let's read it. Matter of fact, let's get this first. Let's get this first. Isaiah. Was it Isaiah 24? Let's read this. Since you want to be funny, let's get this. Isaiah 24 and 20. Just get this. Because this is going to happen when the missiles start to fly off. And let me hold this. Psalms 149. How about this? So this is Isaiah 24 and 20. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgressions thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. What shall fall? America, Babylon the Great. The rulership of the so-called white man shall fall and not rise again. And it shall come to pass in that day that Yahweh, the Lord, shall punish the host of the high ones that are on high. Who is these that live in the skyscrapers? They get the jet set. Who face on the money? Who control the policies? Who control religion? Who make the laws? Who control all the resources? The host of the high ones. Who? The elites, the Rockefellers, the Rothschild, the Oppenheimer, the DuPonts, the Gettys. Yeah, the Waltons, the Vanderbilts. Yeah, we know about you. And it shall come to pass in that day that Yahweh shall punish the hosts. Who's hosting the earth? The so-called white man. Who's facing your money? Of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth. And what's going to happen to them? And they shall be gathered together. Well, Lord, as prisoners are gathered in the pit, and they shall be shut up in the prison, and after many days shall they be visited. What, Lord? Psalms 149. Thus saith the Lord. Let's get this. Psalm 149. They shall be gathered like prisoners of the pit. And then what? Psalms 149 and 6. Let the high praise of God be in their mouth. Hold on. Gotta read up. This is Psalms 149 and 4. For Yahweh taketh pleasure in who? His people. He will beautify the meek with salvation. Let the saints, another word for saints are the Israelites, Zion. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of God be in their mouth and a two-edged sword in their hand. What you gonna do with a two-edged sword, Lord? To execute vengeance upon the heathen. All the heathens, Lord, all the heathens, all 17 heathen nations, and punishment upon the people. To do what to them, Lord? To bind their kings with chains. Remember, we was bound with chains fresh off the slave ships, fresh from being tight packed like sardines, vomiting and defecating on each other. Huh? To bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron. And what? To execute upon them the judgment written. Where is it written at? Deuteronomy 25, Exodus 17, when the Lord say, Amalek shall be blotted out. Yeah. Obadiah 1 and 18. It's going to be a bonfire with the so-called white man. We're going to be throwing their asses on there like sticks. Kindle the fire to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. The water for tuning in. May Yahweh Shema Shai continue to bless you in your houses. Stay prayed up. Gotta give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Nakah Kodash. The honors to the apostles and elder bishops and elders, a great millstone who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, whether you can accept it or not. In the sense of salutation to all the Akim pushing this truth and believing this truth, but the full winds of the earth, the entire world, shedding light to the hope for the elect. Shalom to the outward who are listening and learning. If you sisters who are listening and learning, about tuning in. May Yahweh Shema Shah continue blessing your houses. Stay prayed up. May the blessing of election be upon your houses. Closing precept. Amos 7 and 17. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh, thy wife shall be an harlot in the city, and thy sons and thy daughters shall fall by the sword. What happened to George Floyd and Tremere Rice and Breonna Taylor and these different Mike Brown and what his name is Michael Brown and Trayvon Martin? How they get gunned down? By the sword. And thy sons and thy daughters shall fall by the sword. And thy land, where's our land? Israel shall be divided by line. Who's in our land dividing it? You got the Palestinians and the Israelis. They done dividing the land? Huh? The Gaza Strip, Israel. Yeah. You got Arabs, Ishmael, and you got Edom, the so-called white man in our land divided by line. Prophecy. And thy land shall be divided by line, and thou shalt die in a polluted land. Well, America, Babylon the Great, chemtrails in the air, contaminated waters, the food, GMOs. We living in a polluted land, you slow-bellied niggas. And Israel shall surely go in. Well, here's another one, into captivity for his land, you dumbass niggas. Wah, bah, bah, bah.